The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Good afternoon and welcome to this afternoon's webinar on Azura at Quilalea. For those of you who haven't attended these webinars before, what I'll do is I'll give you about a 15-minute presentation on the island, and then if you have any questions, if you'd like to write them into the chat box, you'll see on the right-hand panel on the right-hand side of your screen, and then I'll go through any questions you may have after the presentation. This makes the webinar flow a bit easier rather than me stopping after every slide or so and answering questions. So Azura Quilalea opened in November last year after a 6-month renovation program where the owners spent $2.5 million renovating the island and doing a thorough overhaul of the kind of infrastructure of the island as well. For many of you, I'm sure you know that Quilalea actually ran for about 7 years as a very successful island and then closed about 4 years ago. And it was the management contract of it was taken over by Stella and Christopher Bettany, who own Azura Retreats on Benguera Island. And as I say, they opened the property in November 2011. There are 9 villas in total on the island, 4 Sunrise, 4 Sunset and Villa Quilalea. They actually kept the villas very similar to how they were before in the fact that they kept the external structures themselves the same and kept the locations the same, but what they did do is they thoroughly changed the insides of them, and you'll see that from the images as I go through. So where is Quilalea? It's one of the most southernmost islands in the Carimbas archipelago in northern Mozambique. It's about 30 nautical miles north of Pemba, and to get there you fly into Pemba, and Pemba is accessed by a number of international airlines. You can get there from Johannesburg on SAL Link and LAM, from Nairobi on LAM, and down from Dar es Salaam on LAM as well. So it's accessed by a number of different international airlines. And then from Pemba, it's a 20-minute light aircraft flight with CFA to Corimba Island, which is the island next door to Quilalea. You're then met by the owner of a coconut plantation, which is on Corimba Island, which is great fun. And he drives you for about 10 minutes to the beach, where you're met by the Quilalea Island boat, and it's about a 20-minute boat transfer across to Quilalea Island. So it's a bit, the journey to Quilalea is part of the kind of adventure of getting there. It's not a case of just flying in and you're there. It is, it's quite exciting, but as you'll see from the images I'll show you, it's an absolutely stunning flight up to Corimba Island. So a lot of guests actually really enjoy this as part of, as I say, part of the adventure of getting to the island. The rates opened at $595 per person per night. The 2012 rates start at $625 per person per night. And as I say, the air flight transfers are done with CFA, and they cost from $245 per person return. And then the boat transfer from Corimba to Quilalea is $30 per person each way. We are actually about to launch a new flight route with Coastal coming down from Dar es Salaam, which will be brilliant. We literally have got Vimizi, Rani Resorts and Azura have twinned up to basically support a new CFA flight which will be going to Musimba to Praia. So guests will fly down from Dar es Salaam with Coastal Air to Musimba to Praia, where they'll pass through customs. They'll then meet the CFA flight and be able to fly down to Carimbas Island. They will. There may be chances that they may have to stop on a route to Carimbas Island. They might have to stop at Vimizi or not Vimizi, Ibo Island or Majumbe. But this will mean that it really, really opens up Quilalea to Tanzania and the Eastern African circuit. Because the problem is at the moment, if you fly on LAM from Dar es Salaam down to Pemba, with the way the flights work, you have to spend an overnight in Pemba, which isn't ideal, obviously. So this would be really exciting, and this is due to start from the 1st of April. I can send you details of the flights. As I say, we're just waiting for the final go-ahead from Coastal with their actual flight schedules and prices, but it's all been agreed, and it should start from the 1st of April. This image here is one of the shots that I took when I went up to the island in December, and this is the kind of view that you get from the plane flying from Pemba to Carimbos Island. So as I say, it's an absolutely stunning journey, and I think the journey is almost part of the excitement of, part of the experience of Quilalea Island. This is the island itself. It's a private island of about 86 acres. There's nothing on the island other than the lodge itself. And I think what I really enjoyed about the island was the fact that you can be very independent when you stay there. There's only 9 villas, so it's incredibly private. But you can, every guest is given a mask and snorkel and flippers, and they can go out whenever they want to go snorkeling and to go explore the island. So it's quite nice because it means that whenever you want to go out, you don't have to go on an excursion as such. You can just go out on your own independently. They also have kayaks, and it takes about 45 minutes to kayak around the island. There are 4 beaches on the island itself. You'll see the beach kind of in the middle of the shot, facing southwards is Turtle Beach, which is a stunning beach the other side of the island, and we often do private picnics to that beach. It takes about 25 minutes to walk around the island itself, and it's well worth doing the walk with the we've got a dive instructor who's also actually a safari guide. So he's brilliant at telling you all about the birds and the animals, and it's absolutely fascinating. For a small island, it's very, very diverse. This shot here shows you the main area of the island where the accommodation is on. So in the middle of the shot, you'll see the restaurant area, and then moving directly north from there, you'll see the 4 sunrise villas. So as I say, there are 9 villas in total: 4 sunrise, 4 sunset, and Villa Quilalea. To the right-hand side of the shot, you'll just about see the sunset villas, but I'll go on and show you those in more detail. This image here is a shot of the CFA plane landing on the Carimbos Island runway, and you can see all the coconut trees around, and that's the coconut plantation. So the island is absolutely stunning. It's just full of these coconut trees, so it's actually really fascinating to drive through. It's very, very different to Quilalea, so it's quite nice for you to get a little bit of, or for guests to get a little bit of an insight into another island in that area. This is arriving at Quilalea itself on the main beach. Then this is a shot of the villas with the sun deck and sunbeds in front of them. Each villa has their own hammock. And what Stella and Christopher Bethany, the owners of Azura Retreats, who have a management contract for Quilalea, what they did when they took over the island is they actually spoke to the trade that had been selling it well before, and the feedback was that the actual rooms themselves, the location, the size, and the design of them worked really, really well. It was very much in keeping with the island. So what they did is they actually kept the external structures as they were, and just changed the interiors quite a lot. A lot of the refurbishment and renovation they did was to kind of infrastructural things that guests won't necessarily see, but obviously are vitally important. They spent a lot of energy and investment in creating a whole new energy system for Quilalea, so that every guest can control their own energy consumption. In each room there are 2 switches for eco or lux energy settings. So eco obviously being the minimum, using facilities that use the minimum of energy, i.e. lights and a fan, and lux being for guests who want full-on air conditioning, hair dryers, everything going at the same time. They also invested quite a lot in rainwater harvesting. They have special rechargeable batteries. They have solar panels. They've done a huge kind of environmental eco project to make sure that the island is very, very sustainable. The idea really was to not use a generator, or to use a generator as little as possible. I know that that's what a couple of operators have said to me before with Quilalea, is you used to quite often be able to hear the generator running. Well, they've actually moved the location of the generator. And they've inputted all these new energy systems, which means that they're not reliant on the generator at all. When I was there for 4 days, and I didn't hear the generator once when I was there. So I think that's quite a big change they've made to before. So the sunrise and the sunset villas are exactly the same sizes. They're exactly the same design. The only differences are the actual colour scheme of the interiors, the soft furnishings. And as the name suggests, the sunrise villas make the most of the sunrise, and the sunset are positioned to maximise the opportunity to enjoy the amazing African sunsets. There's only $50 difference between the villas, and personally I would definitely recommend paying that difference, because I mean, obviously you're in Africa. One of the key things to do is have a stunning sundowner, and they every guest gets a kind of special sundowner cocktail, and they lay it up beautifully on the beach, and it's quite an amazing experience. So for you to be able to sit outside your villa and actually really make the most of that is definitely worth $50 difference. Each room has obviously an ensuite bathroom and a shower. This is a video which I'm hoping might work, which I'm afraid isn't a very, is it going to work? What a shame. It doesn't look like this video is going to work on the webinar. Sorry about that. But I'm sure of those of you of whom I'll do this presentation in person, that video would actually be able to work. But sorry about that. But these are the images of the bathrooms, and this image here, just this architect's floor plan, just shows you the layout of the villa. So those of you who've been to Quilalea before, you may remember that you used to enter into the villa from the top of the villa, where the bed is now. You'll see a dark shaded area behind the bed, and that used to be the entrance. And you used to walk into what was effectively a wall with the bed the other side of it. And they felt that actually wasn't a great use of the space. So they changed the entrance so that you enter into the villa now from the side. So A, you have a lot more space, and B, you have this amazing panorama of the sea as soon as you walk into the room. Every villa has obviously a decked area and day beds, and the other difference between the sunrise and the sunset villas is that the sunset villas have an outdoor shower as well. So that's a quite nice addition, particularly for those who come straight off the beach. It's quite nice to be able to have an outdoor shower. The 9th villa is Villa Quilalea, which was known as the old honeymoon villa. This is located on a little cliff at the on the edge of the island. It's a fantastic location, and Villa Quilalea actually has a plunge pool. Because it's not actually on the beach itself, you don't have direct access to a beach. What you do have, which is quite cool, is a little ladder that you can climb down the cliff edge, and you can go swimming straight into the sea from your villa. But they did put in a plunge pool because you don't have direct beach access. But they also have put in an amazing large ensuite bathroom, which you'll see here. They've also created a lovely outside dining area as well. So this is it's a really special villa, and I was very lucky enough to stay in this villa when I stayed there in December. It's much more private. It's right at the end of the row of the plot of villas, and you have this incredible ensuite bathroom, big terraced area at the front, plunge pool. Unfortunately, this is another video shot which unfortunately isn't working, but this is the exterior of Villa Quilalea. So you can see this big terraced area, and then there's lovely double doors that open up into the bathroom. So you can actually lie there in that incredible bath and have the doors opened up to the ocean. This is the villa plunge pool. And this is the ladder that I was speaking about before, where you can climb down and go swimming straight into the ocean. One thing I must mention now is that what's absolutely incredible about Quilalea is it's a marine park. So the whole area surrounding Quilalea is protected. It's a no fishing zone, and the coral is absolutely pristine. And because it's a coral island, there's coral reefs surrounding the whole island. So you can literally go swimming. Looking at this image, you can climb out that ladder, get into the water, and within 5 meters you'll be in the most incredible coral reef. And when I was there in December, there was a couple who'd been staying there for 11 nights, which is quite a long time on a small private island. And I said to them, did you ever get bored? And they said no. I mean, every day they were out snorkeling, they were out kayaking. They said there was so much to see and do, particularly under the water. They just absolutely fell in love with it. And I think it's a really nice touch that every guest gets their own fins and mask and snorkel, because it makes them, as I say, very independent. They can just go off on their own and go exploring their own time and their own pace. This is the main bar area and pool area, which they again did a lot of changes to. They made the pool a lot larger than it was before, and they also made the bar area a lot larger. They added on probably about a third to the bar area and reception area. They made it a lot more spacious. They added in a private lounge, They also added in a whole new reception area the other side with a shop, and the lounge is a lot more spacious. It's really comfortable and very chilled vibe. The designers were actually the same designers who designed Azura Retreats on Banguera Island, but you can see it's a very different style to Azura. It's a lot more kind of in keeping, a little bit more rustic. It's a lot more in keeping with the island itself. Really beautifully designed and incredibly comfortable. This is the floor plan of that main area that's changed quite a bit. So you'll see from the bottom of the slide, you'll see the main reception area with the boutique off to the left-hand side, and then you have the private lounge sitting area. Hold on a sec, I'll see if I can get my little highlighter. So this is the lounge area here, which has got a big plasma TV in there, so if there's any kind of big sports matches or anything, don't worry, your guests won't be missing out on them. They've also got internet connection as well. They have got Wi-Fi in the bar area. It didn't reach to my room. I was staying in Villa Quilalea, but it's really, really good connection. In fact, it was faster than my connection here in England. So it's a really, really good connection for Wi-Fi. And then this is the bar area here. With a lovely lounge area as well. So it's very, they've made a lot of changes to it, but it's working, it works really, really well. So this is just a quick summary of the energy consumption that I spoke about earlier with the eco or lux settings. So the different energy systems they've introduced are solar power, wind generation, rainwater harvesting, and eco-friendly rechargeable batteries. A big thing that we get always consistently positive feedback for on Azura on Banguera Island is their private dining experience. They're so creative at always varying where guests actually have their dinners, whether it may be in their villas, or it may be in the library, or maybe on the beach. And they're doing the same at Quilalea, and there's so many different areas at Quilalea where they can go off and explore and set up these really, really cool little private dining experiences. They've also got a wine cellar at Quilalea as well, where we had a private dining experience, which was absolutely brilliant. I mean, it's a state-of-the-art wine cellar, and you're sitting here in the middle of an island in Mozambique and having this incredible meal in this wine cellar. It's really quite surreal. But yeah, they're very, very good at changing the dining experience. And like at Azura on Banguera Island, they have their private host experience, whereby you'll be allocated a host who will look after you for your whole stay. A lot of the staff are local to the area. But what we've been doing is we've been doing a training scheme for the last, for quite a few months before the property opened, whereby the staff from Azura on Banguera Island actually came up and helped train the staff from Quilalea. And they have it on like a rotational basis, whereby some of the staff from Banguera Island are up there just helping oversee things, so that there's a consistently high level of service that's been delivered. I have to say the feedback we've had right from day one actually has been absolutely fantastic for the service level and the team at the lodge. I mean, it's incredible considering, literally from day one, people couldn't fault it, which is brilliant. The chef is absolutely amazing, and as you can imagine, he's got an incredible array of amazing natural ingredients to choose from. So there's a lot of seafood, very fresh dishes, lots of fruit and veg and seafood. So yeah, the food was absolutely incredible. But I think the other great thing about Quilalea is there's so much to do and see there, not only on the island itself, but it's only it's a short, it's about a day trip to go over to Ebo Island, which has obviously got the amazing cultural and historical heritage, which is fascinating to go and see. And that's quite a nice day trip where you can get the boat transfer over, go and have a look around Ebo Island, and then go get the boat transfer back. It is dependent on tides, but that's a really, really good excursion that a lot of guests have enjoyed doing. You can go kayaking around the island itself, or you can go over to a nearby island, Tenkar Island, which is a mangrove island, which has lots of different mangrove channels which guests can go kayaking down, which is really cool. Snorkeling, obviously, you can go snorkeling all around the island yourself. The diving is absolutely fantastic. I'll speak about that in a second. But on the right-hand side of this image, you'll see a private sand spit coming out. And I've included that because that's actually a photo I took when I was flying over to the island. But what they're doing with the sand spit is like they do at Azura on Banguera Island. They're actually setting up private, they do Pansy Island picnics on Banguera Island, which is really, really popular. And they're doing the same thing here, whereby they're taking guests over to that sand spit and leaving them for a few hours with an amazing picnic lunch. and then coming back and picking them up later on, which we think will be really popular because it's very popular at Azura on Bangura Island. So the diving, a big key USP for Quilalea is the diving. You can actually go diving straight off the main beach. There's a 20-meter drop-off wall about 20 meters into the sea from the main beach, and it's an absolutely incredible dive. When I was there, we dived with saw loads of different fish, dived with turtles, but then 2 days later I got an email from the dive instructor saying he had swum with 10 dolphins, a pod of dolphin he found, and they swam with him for about 20 minutes, about 10 of them all around him. So it's absolutely amazing diving in that area. It's just a quick summary of the different activities you can do at the island. The other thing they have is a spa, which is a really sweet little, quite a rustic spa on the cliff edge. The spa therapist is absolutely amazing. She used to work at the Ritz-Carlton in Bahrain, and she's massaged George Bush along with a lot of the Formula One drivers, and she's absolutely excellent. And she does a whole variety of treatments, and as I say, it's positioned on this cliff top, and it's amazing because you can hear the waves all crashing underneath you as you're having this massage. Also amazing fishing. You can go walk around the island, you can go on private island picnics, kayaking across to Ebo Island. We are looking at getting a sailboat. That hasn't been finalised yet, but that is one thing we are looking at doing. I include this chart because actually it's very useful. It's a marine calendar, so I can send this all to you afterwards, but it's basically shows you what you can do in what month, what the weather's like, and what you can expect to see, which is a very good quick reference guide for you as a sales tool. And as I say, I'll forward that on to everyone after I finish the presentation. We've had an amazing amount of press coverage on Quilalea over the last few months. Obviously Mozambique itself is a very hot and exciting destination, and the media seem to love it. But Quilalea has just had the most incredible amount of press coverage. We've been in the Sunday Times, Financial Times twice, Tatler, Harper's, and it's ongoing. We've got BA High Life, House and Garden, Bryce. We've got about 10 different publications going down there over the next few months. So expect to see a lot more coming out, which is very exciting. Obviously, if any of you have PR departments and you have anyone who's interested in joining us on these press trips or helping us, or they have any leads, then please do contact me. We'd be really keen to work with you guys to try and generate more press coverage. But as I say, there's a lot being generated so far. It seems to be a hot topic of conversation for the journalists at the moment, which is very exciting. So just in summary, there's 9 villas in total: 4 Sunrise, 4 Sunset, and Villa Quilalea. It's one of the southernmost islands in the Carimbas archipelago in northern Mozambique. It's 30 nautical miles north of Pemba, and to get there you fly into Pemba, which is accessed by a number of different international flights, and then it's a 20-minute light aircraft flight to Carimba Island, a short drive through the coconut plantation where you get to the beach, and then it's a 20-minute boat ride across to Quilalea Island itself. Prices start from, well, $595 was the opening price. It's now $625, and the transfers to Carimba Island is with CFA, and that starts from $245 per person return, and the boat transfer from Carimba Island to Quilalea is $30 per person. If any of you would like to ask any questions, then please do just type them into the chat box or the question box on the right hand side of your screen, and I'll be very happy to answer them. But thank you very much for joining us today, and I will be recording this. This presentation has been recorded, so I'll also send you the link in case you need to refer to it at any point. But thank you very much for joining us today, and I hope to see you at another one of our webinars very soon. I don't have any questions coming in at the moment, so I'm presuming I've covered all angles very well, but yes, question about special offer, good point. Yes, the special offers, that we have a number of special offers running at the moment. We have a 2 for the price of 1 for 7 nights, stays of 7 nights or more, and that is running until the 31st of, for stays until the 31st of March. We also have a, hold on a second, let me find my special offers. We also have a stay 4, pay 3, that's ending the end of March, and also we have a bride gets 50% discount, and that's running for the whole of this year other than the peak season. Someone asked me about honeymoon offers. Bride goes 50%. And that's running for the whole of this year other than the peak season. Are all activities included in the rates? Yes, most of the activities are included in the rates. The ones that are extras are the fishing, because obviously you're taking the boat out for a long time, and the Ebo Island excursion. But all things like, and the diving's extra as well, and spa treatments are extra. But all things like the snorkeling and the kayaking are all are complimentary. Do I have any more questions? I think they all seem to be... is a diving paddy? Yes, good question. I forgot to mention that. Yes, it is a gold paddy dive centre. Well, I think if any of you do have any questions afterwards that I've forgotten to answer them, please do drop me an email. I will follow up on this webinar with you all, and I'll send you rates, special offers, and all the information you may need. But thanks once again for joining me this afternoon, and I hope to see you all again soon at one of these webinars. Thanks very much.